Now, that's a good thing to have. I believe that you having those negative thoughts may be a good thing to have. Why? It's a good thing to have because, well, it's a good thing to have if you learn how to take those negative thoughts and use them as fuel for you to push harder, because you saw what happened in that video. That doesn't mean that people are doing this more than before. You just get to see it now. All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back. Today I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things. One of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is taking risks. At this point in my life, I'm taking a risk in something that I'm doing, but let me bring it back a little bit. Let me talk to you about back in the days when I had a different mindset. All right. So what I would do, this kept me from taking risks. This kept me from doing, like, actually trying to do things that would get me somewhere in life. This kept me from doing anything that was actually good for me, anything that would improve my lifestyle. And I think if you hear this out, you will get something out of this. You will learn something, and hopefully maybe by catching this, you can start to work towards something bigger than something that actually intimidates you. So back then, I had this thing where I kept saying to myself that I could do this, or that I want to do this, that I want to do that I would love to open. I was a lot into automotive back then. So I wanted to open an automotive shop one day. I wanted to own an automotive shop, and I really wanted to do that. I went to school. Well, I started going to school for to become an automotive technician with the dream of one day owning my own shop. I would work on certain cars and stuff, but never did anything big. I never tried to actually go further, and never tried to actually look into opening a shop, and none of that, work towards opening an actual shop. I kept telling myself that I couldn't do it, whether it was because of the money or whether it was because I would have to invest a lot, or whether it was because will it succeed? What if it doesn't it doesn't come out good, right? And some people pointed this out to me, that I was too negative, that I was looking at the bad side of things. And I look at these people and I was like, what do you mean I'm being negative? Dude, I'm fucking being realistic. Think about how much I can lose, honestly. Now, this wasn't just with opening one day an automotive shop. This was with other stuff, other ideas that I had, other things that I wanted to develop. I never did anything. I kept telling myself I was not being negative. I was being realistic. And that is, being realistic, to seeing the bad things, seeing what the bad things that could happen from something. That is being realistic. But let's be honest here. That's not being fully realistic. That is being partly realistic, because you are only looking at what could happen on the negative side. You are not looking at what could happen if everything goes out good, if everything goes well, if you actually do make more money, if the investment that you put into it doubles. You're not looking into any of that. You're not looking at how, well, at least I wasn't looking at how my life would be if any of the ideas that I had back then would succeed. Never did I look at anything 100% with, being realistic. Now, I'm in a point in my life where I'm taking a risk. But I had to pass that part of myself. That that I had to jump over that part in my mind and my brain that kept telling me that I was being realistic and that I wasn't being negative, and that's why I didn't do anything. I had to pass that. I had to get over that to be able to take a risk, take an actual risk. And now that I'm past that, I'm taking this risk, right? But in taking these opportunities and taking these risks that now I find myself in, I've uh I've I've learned quite a few things when it comes to like trying something new or trying to take a risk and all that, right? Now that I see myself and I find myself in this situation, I can tell you that taking a risk is scary as hell. Like, it fucking is terrifying. It is. It's terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm this close to taking this leap in my life that if I put in the work, I know it has to work. I know it has to go well. Now, if it fails, it's all on me. That's just because I didn't do enough. But I know that I know that I'm gonna do whatever the hell I need to do to be able to make this through, right? But what do you do with the fear that you are feeling when you're about to take a leap that is risky and could potentially keep you from having an income? What do you do with that fear? It's not gonna fucking go away, I'll tell you that. It's not gonna go away, especially when it's new, especially when you're jumping into something new. It's not gonna go away. But from listening to other people, I've put in my head the idea, that thought, the feel the fear, but do it anyway. Just fucking go through with it. And I, it doesn't remove the fear, but it just kind of pushes you a little more and a little more and a little more. Just having that in your mind, it just keeps you going just a little more. And even though you're scared, you understand that this opportunity, this leap, this risk that you are taking may be the one thing that could change your life or can change, the way you are doing things. And I mean, it could potentially change your lifestyle, honestly. But the risk puts so much fear in me because it doesn't just involve me. If it was just me, I'd feel a little better, but I have a family that I have to support. And if my only income is, if the income that I bring in isn't an income where I just go somewhere, I show up, I'm there for a certain amount of hours and I get paid, I collect my check on Friday, whatever, right? If that's not there anymore, and that means I have to go and look for where the money is, and this is all on me, 100% up to me now. What if it doesn't work? That's the kind of shit that goes in my mind. Now, that's a good thing to have. I believe that you having those negative thoughts may be a good thing to have. Why? It's a good thing to have because, well, it's a good thing to have if you learn how to take those negative thoughts and use them as fuel for you to push harder. That's how those negative thoughts become good. If there is something that tells you you have to do it, or this shit is gonna fucking make your family suffer, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna go fucking hard at it. You're gonna go hard at it. And it all comes down to what you're trying to do and how hard you're going to go at it to succeed. That's really all it is. Are you going to put in the work? This risk that you're taking, are you going to take this risk and put in the work? If you're going to take this risk and just kind of half-ass it, then probably taking that risk is not a good idea for you. But if you're confident, if you're sure enough that you are going to go hard as hell, that you're going to go and do whatever the fuck it takes to succeed, then take that risk. Now, another thing, if you're going to take that risk, do it in a smart way. Don't just say, I'm fucking quitting today. I'm going to fucking call my employer today and I'm going to let them know I'm done. I quit. Why don't just do that? Don't just do that. Don't just call and quit. Don't just take a risk. First, study it. Study what you're trying to do. Get a little bit of knowledge on what it is that you're going to pursue. Second thing, if you're like me that I don't have another income, my only income is me going to work at this moment, right? And that is the only thing that brings food to the table right now. That's the only thing that pays the bills right now, pays the housing and all that stuff. Now, if you are in the same spot, do take that risk, but do it the smart way. Work to that. Work up until you take that leap. What I mean is, if you need to take on extra hours to save enough money so that when you do take that risk, you have enough money to sustain yourself for a few months, then that's what you got to do. You work harder. You take those hours. You take those extra hours. You do whatever the hell you need to do so that you can build a cushion, so that you can build enough money to have under that will allow you to live it might be in a tighter budget, but that will allow you to pay the things that are necessary in order for you to have enough time to dedicate as many hours a day on whatever business you're trying to develop or whatever it is that you're trying to work on. Meanwhile, that thing that you're trying to pursue starts to provide for you and your family. If you are in a position like I'm in right now where your job is your only way of paying for things, just save enough money for a few months and then take that risk. But never, ever, ever lie to yourself, telling yourself that you don't do this because things can go bad. Things always go bad. Things do go bad, and they will go bad. It's just the way things work, right? But you have to be able to, when things go bad, learn from those things and get back up. You have to be able to understand and accept that shit is going to happen sometimes. Shit is going to go down. And are you going to be prepared? Are you going to be prepared for those things? That's the main thing. You have to be mentally and physically prepared. And in my case, financially prepared for when things don't work out as quick as you want them to. At least that's my opinion, Another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is a friend of mine talked to me about this mass shooting that happened, and I guess the guy that shot some people, I think they said 30 people died or 49, I'm not sure, but this person apparently live streamed the whole thing, right? While he was shooting people, he live streamed the whole thing or something like that. Now, I tried to find the video and I didn't find it. I tried to find the video, I couldn't find it, but I saw a few other things that said Facebook live shooting, Facebook or somebody getting shot live streamed, or things like that. And this it didn't make me realize, but there's something that we have to understand when it comes to us humans, all right? It's not that shit is getting bad. It's not that humans are getting worse. All right? It's not that. It's that now with all the social media and all this all like YouTube and all this shit, we are exposed to more things that are going on around the world, not just here but or around other places. Now, because we see it more, or people tend to say, like, what the fuck is happening to humans? Like, it's just getting worse. And no, it's not really getting worse. I'll tell you that much. It's not getting worse. You're just seeing it more often. And not seeing it more often as in it's happening more often. No, you're seeing it more because now something is posted on Facebook, and it just, if it's shared by this person, shared by the other person, now you got two people sharing it. Then from those two people, they share it to two more people. Then four people are going to be sharing it, and those four people will double, and it doubles, and it keeps going. So when something goes viral, it's exposed to millions of people. But it doesn't mean that because you saw that video, because you saw what happened in that video, that doesn't mean that people are doing this more than before. You just get to see it now. Social media is exposing us to reality. Social media is making us see what's really like out there. There have been some videos, or at least back then, when these drug lords started posting like videos about how they torture people or how they kill people and stuff like that. Saddening stuff, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we shouldn't feel for the people that suffer through this stuff. But what I'm saying is, like in the example of the drug lords, they posted this stuff. But because they posted it, this doesn't mean that it didn't happen before. Because you saw it today, it doesn't mean it didn't happen before as well. Things are happening all over the world. Some of the stuff we don't even see it. And the things that we do see, we think it's a lot. Imagine if we saw everything. Imagine if we were exposed to everything that happens in this world. You would think that things are getting even worse than they already are getting. But that's not the thing. I think we need to stop saying that humans are killing each other more and more, or that humans are destroying themselves more than before, or that there's more crime. No, there is more crime posted on these social medias. There's more crime posted on these search engines and stuff like that. That's all it is. Okay, that's all it is. Listen, I think when it comes to, we are getting, like, humans are getting into this spot that's bad, or we're getting worse. I think the way humans are getting worse at this moment is with things that we get in trouble. Like, it's hard now. It's hard to not say something, and then somebody doesn't fucking get mad at you, or somebody doesn't judge you for it. All right. We are getting in a spot where, at least in this country, in the United States, our freedom of speech, it's being questioned. Because if we speak about a certain thing, or if we speak about a certain group, we need to be careful what verbs we use, what adjectives we use. We need to express ourselves carefully. We're not really free in speech anymore like we used to be, because there are people out here that label themselves, or that they not label themselves, but they identify themselves as different, right? I'm not trying to point out any names. And there are people out here that they don't want to be called something, or they don't want you to say something about a certain group of people. They explain things, but they are shutting up they are shutting up the way certain people speak. They're shutting up the way we see things. Like, we're not, some people are not allowed to form their own opinions and express their opinions because they get sued for this kind of stuff. I think in that aspect, things are getting worse. But when it comes to crime, to be honest, we're just more exposed to it. We're just more exposed to it. That's the way I see it, That's from my point of view. Now, this may, some people may think the other way. Some people may think the opposite. And that's fine. But I grew up in a place where my family was always watching news. And I saw all this stuff that would happen, whether it was in my country or whether it was here, or whether the news was talking about some crime that happened in another foreign country, whatever it is. And now I'm seeing the same thing distributed on social medias, but at a larger scale. So I kind of see things. I've kind of, if I go back to the way it was, to what I saw back then, I don't see more of it. I don't see more of it, or I don't see humans themselves doing more bad things. We just get to see it more because almost everybody that you could ask, if you tell them, are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Snapchat? Whatever it is, almost everybody has something that they're in, that they're on, that will distribute some kind of news to them, and that's all it is. That's all it is, and at least in my opinion. Hey, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. All right, don't keep fooling yourself. If you're one of those people telling yourself that you're being realistic about the consequences that could happen, just shut up. And if you are being 100% realistic and saying, shit, this could really go down if I don't do things right, like this could really it could be bad. Now, that's all right. But if you're looking also at the part where shit can go good, this thing can actually be successful, and I will find myself in a way better spot. If that is you, if you're being 100% realistic, which is looking at both sides, good. Work towards taking that risk. If you're like me and you need to build a cushion of savings, do that. Take that risk. I guarantee you're going to feel so much better. Right now, I'm getting closer, and it's scary as fuck. But I also feel way, way better in myself. I'm starting to feel a little more free, and just way more happier with myself. Way more happier with myself. So take that risk if you need to. Find the thing that you love. Work towards that. And hey, listen, humans don't suck. All right, humans aren't a piece of shit. I mean, some are. I'm not gonna lie, but humanity in its whole, listen, we're humans. Some are crazy, some are not. Some are average, and some are good. Some are just plain bad. We're humans, all right? This shit is going to always be happening. There's always going to be some kind of crime. And don't think that shit is getting worse. When it is getting worse, you're going to notice it. I guarantee it. When it is getting bad, you will see it. But for now, things are the same, and we're just more exposed to it. All right, here, signing out of this video. I really enjoy doing this. So if you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, hit that bell so that you get notified when I upload again. And I will see you guys soon. All right, take care.